first of all. I am the loan manager at Skylight. So today I will be introducing the type of loans that we offer refugees, and hopefully some of you or many of you will apply and make the most of the services that we offer. So this session is going to be it seems a little bit long, but the time isn't going to be that much. I just leave some time in case, people want to uh, tag in and ask some questions. But Kotaiba just said that he prefers the question at the end, so that's totally fine as well. The agenda will start with me introducing the loans that we have. Then I will move on to describe how the application process is for you. And I will give some examples about what would make a good application and what would make a not so successful application. And then, yes, we'll leave some room for at the end for questions. So basically, just a little bit of an introduction. Turn is our sister company that was founded in 2016, and Turn is the company that provides coaching and mentoring for refugees. A lot of the people who were attending those mentoring and coaching sessions found difficulties accessing loans. So this is how Skylight came into life. So it was founded to provide loans, startup loans for refugee entrepreneurs wanting to start a business, test a business, just the very early stage of that business journey. So the microloans from Skylight can reach up to £2,500. I will explain a little bit how you can access this full amount, because this is not accessible just at the start straight on. All of the loans that we provide are completely interest-free. The main purpose is, like I said, it's to help refugees get started, test an idea, or just explore something that they have been wanting to do for some time. So it's just a small loan to help them start that entrepreneurial journey. I think some of the key highlights of Skylight is that we are a small team, so we are rather fast in processing. There's no hierarchy or a lot of steps for the approval process. So basically, there's me and there's the director, Isabel, who's currently on a sabbatical. The loan application process is myself, so I score the application. In addition to that, we have our business coach, Diana, who's also part of this scoring system. And we have the community-led panel. So this is something that we put together. It's a panel of other refugee entrepreneurs who have already benefited from our loans. So we thought they would also have the access to help us score each application, because they themselves have been part of that journey. So their input is very much appreciated. So first of all, we have the first step loan, which is the very basic loans. This is the loan of £500. Again, it's interest-free. This can be also topped up later. The main purpose, this loan came into life actually for a project that we launched that was specifically for market stalls. So this amount was sufficient. I understand that today, with inflation costs and high cost of living, this amount might not be very attractive for the time being, but it's still a product that we offer. The launch loan is our most famous or most requested type of loan. This is our loan of £1,000, also interest-free. For that loan, you will need to provide your latest 3 months bank statements and a business business budget plan that I will discuss in a little bit. The reason why we ask for bank statements and a small budget plan is that we at Skylight, we don't use the credit scoring system that is used by the bigger banks. So we understand that this might be a little bit taxing on refugees. So this is our internal credit scoring system that we use. So that's why we need to just have a look at the financial aspect of the applicant, just to make sure that they are not in excess debt, that they are overdraft all the time. So this would help us just assess the overall financial health of the applicants of the application. And the top-up loan can reach up to £2,500. So whether you applied for a £500 at the start or the £1,000, you will be able to access some more money. Now, the £2,500 would be in addition to the first loan. So for example, let's say you have initially applied for £1,000 loan, you have already paid, I'm just going to say any number, £600 of that loan, and you still have £400 to pay. So you will be able to access £2,100, which in addition to the initial loan remaining amount of £400 will total £2,500. So one of the, I thought here I just start with sorry, sorry, 1 second. Sorry, apologies for that. No, no, sorry. So I thought here I'll just share a story about one of our applicants who will, two actually, they are partners, and they arrived from Ukraine with an idea of importing bees in order to help people who are still back in Ukraine in order to sustain their living during the war. So obviously, importing bees is quite risky. They were rejected by the normal banks. Also, another reason why they got rejected is because they had a limited time on their visa. The credit score obviously was not there. So they came to us, and we were happy to provide them with the £1,000 loan. And then they were able also to top up their loan with an additional amount. Especially with bees, where you have to pay a lot of upfront fees like customs and tax and duties. So I think they were quite happy that we were able to provide them a loan in just a matter of a couple of weeks. So moving on to who can apply to our loans. First of all, you have to have a refugee background, but even if at the moment you are currently a British citizen, but previously had refugee status, that would still make you eligible. Obviously, you have to have the right to work in the UK. You have to have a basic level of English because our application is English, and also because the business is going to be set up in the UK. So there needs to be a minimum level of English requirement. And you need to have a business coach, but this is not a necessity that you need to have before you apply for the loan. The reason why we put that is because a lot of our applicants come from our sister company, Turn, as I had mentioned. So they would already have a coach there who would provide us with a reference. If not, then we have our internal business coach at Skylight. Her name is Diana. She will spend some time with each applicant, around an hour and sometimes more if needed, just providing support and just help structure the business idea and proceed with the application. So how do you apply? First of all, you have to go on our application on our website and fill in the application. For the £500 loan, it's a very simple application because there's not much information about the financial aspect of the business. So it's basically some information, personal information about yourself, what kind of income you are on. Let's say you are on benefits or you have a part-time employment, what sort of expenses you have, and that's basically it. For the £1,000 loan, it's a little bit more detailed. We would then require a budget plan. And like I said earlier, the bank statements for the past 3 months. So the loan process is, like I said, we pride ourselves in that normally it's very efficient and very quick. So once the application is in process, and also I would like to point out here that during the application process, applicants are always, advised and encouraged to contact us. They can schedule a call and ask anything, because sometimes we understand that applicants might not be very familiar with the budget plan Excel sheet, or they might find numbers a little bit daunting. So a lot of the times I jump on a call with them. I can fill in the Excel sheet for them as long as they provide me with the numbers. So at any point during the application, if and when you decide to apply, please rest assured that we are there to help and support. So if you are finding anything difficult, sometimes if you have any IT issues or you are having some difficulties, just please get in touch and we will make sure to help you proceed with your application. And once this is approved, You will provide us with your bank details. We will deposit the funds. There's an agreement to be signed. It's just to say what your payments will be on a monthly basis. So, for example, if you are going to apply for £1,000 loans, you can pay that over 24 months. That means your monthly payment will be around £41. This amount will be taken on a monthly basis around the 5th of the month each month. So it will be taken automatically via a direct debit. I forgot also to mention here that during the application there is a short video or voice note or a message, whichever you want to, however you want to upload that part, which tells us a little bit more about your business. This part is very important for the community panel, who will be also, like I said, scoring you, because the community panel doesn't necessarily have access to other information, which for data protection, they are not, they wouldn't be able to see it. So that part is very important for them to be able to have an idea and score your business accordingly. So what are we looking for in a Skylight applicant? Basically enough personal financial stability. Like I said before, we prefer not to have someone in extreme debt or having a lot of credit card payments, a lot of loans every month, because having an extra loan will cause extra financial duress and stress, and we don't want our Skylight loan to be causing that. So someone who is just able to meet their monthly expenses every month comfortably. It's also in the application where you will find a question where it asks you if at any point in time, if you have an unforeseen payment of £100, would you struggle to pay it, yes or no? So that would also give us an idea if it's extremely difficult for you to meet any unforeseen expense or not. The other thing is to have a vision and to be able to understand what running a business means. And the business plan, which will also tell us how you intend to spend the money, the funds of the loan. So the checklist is the online application, like I just said. So you have to just specify how are you spending the loan. Is it going to be to buy some tools or equipments that you need for your business? Is it to perhaps set up a website, print some marketing materials, whatever it is? We don't have any restrictions on how the loan will be used. Of course, as long as it's not illegal, like gambling or some illegal trade. But other than that, we don't have any restrictions on the sector. A lot of people come with experience in their previous countries, so that also helps the application, because it shows that, obviously entrepreneurship is very exciting, but it also brings with it the instability or the lack of steadiness in the income provided. So yes, the person has to be, understand this aspect of being an entrepreneur. And like I said earlier as well, the supporting documents, which are the 3 months bank statements and the budget. The budget plan is something that you can find during the application. If for any reason you can't find it, you can always drop me an email and say, I can't find this, and I will send it by email if you have any difficulties, that or anything else. So here I thought I would also share like a successful borrower, which we've changed the names here, obviously, for data privacy. One of our applicants was attending a workshop, an eBay workshop with Turn, and she was selling her handmade jewelry. She applied for the loan. She hadn't yet started running her business, but she only tested her business idea with some teachers at her school's kids, the school of the kids, and the community panel scored her very highly. So she was very successful. So doesn't matter if you do have experience or not. This doesn't mean that you will not be approved for the loan. Another successful story are two partners. So again, here I would like to point that if you have a partner in the business, each of the partners will be allowed to apply separately. So you would be able to access more money in that case. So for instance, here, Yusuf and Isa, they each applied for £1,000, which means they were able to access £2,000. So yes, they had a very strong business coach reference. They've provided all the documentations that were requested, so there was no problem with approving this application as well. And I thought here I'd share a story about the unsuccessful borrowers. So Samson also was in the jewelry business. He had a lot of experience before coming to the UK. The community panel gave him a very high score. However, when we started looking further into his financial statements and his bank statements, we saw that he had a lot of debt. He was kind of drowning. And we thought that, giving him the loan is going to cause him this extra financial burden. Um, I don't know why here it says there is no bank account because he did have a bank account. So apologies for that. It must have been a mistake. And again, even though he was unsuccessful, we always encourage borrowers to reapply later on in the future. So if someone is unsuccessful now, it doesn't mean that he will be unsuccessful in the future. There's always a chance for them to, if they had a personal maybe issue and they had to cover that with credit card payments and they had to go through some financial trouble at a certain point in time, but then they overcame that, then they are more than welcome to reapply when they have their financial situation under control. Yeah, and I think that's about it from myself. I don't know if you can scan here the QR code if you wanted to have a look at the application process, but I can also send that to Kotaiba. He can share with you our website and any documents that you might need as well.